In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the Triple Cross Fishtail bracelet using the monster tail. This is a pattern that I had come up with back in September of 2013 on the regular rainbow loom, and I've decided to do a tutorial showing you how to do it using the monster tail. So you will need to choose your colors, and I've chosen black and then a variety of rainbow colors. And you'll need about 200 rubber bands to make this bracelet, give or take a few depending on the size of your wrist. And I'm going to have the loom with the red dot facing towards me. Doesn't exactly matter which way you have it, but it's just easier if you have the red facing towards you, and then you know that's the way that you're working with it in case it gets turned around somehow. So you're going to start by placing your first rubber band on the left hand side, the pin that's closest to you. It's going to stretch diagonally up and to the right, and just for this bottom layer all of the bands are going to twist. And now I'm going to go to this next pin up on the left, and it's going to once again go diagonally up to the right and twist, so the bands are going to be parallel to one another. And you want to try and have your bands as straight as possible when you put them on. Try not to get them too twisted, because that'll help the bracelet look neat when it's done. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross back over. So I'm going to start on this top pin on the left, and I'm going to cross here and also twist, coming down and diagonally to the right. And now I'm going back to this middle pin on the left, and again I'm coming diagonally down to the right and twisting. And then you want to push this all down to the bottom. So that is what the first layer is going to look like. And now for the next layer, we are going to put the bands straight across. So I'm going to switch to red, and I'll start on this bottom left. And this time I'm just going straight across to the right, and I will do that for all three sets of pins. And now I'm going to switch back to black, and again it's going to be X's. So I'm starting on this bottom left, stretching diagonally up and to the right, going to that next pin above, again diagonally up and to the right. It's going to just be parallel to one another. And now I'm going to go to this top pin on the left, and it's going to stretch diagonally down, making that X. And now back to this center pin. It's coming diagonally down, making that second X. So now we have 3 layers on, and we want to take that bottom layer off, and so it's going to be all of the black bands. So on the end pins, you're just going to have 1 to remove, but on the center pins you're going to have the bottom 2 to remove. So I'm just going to grab this band, pull it over the top, and in the middle here. You can either grab them one at a time, or if you feel comfortable you can just grab them both at once, which is what I'm going to do. Pull them over the top and into the middle, and then on the end here I have just the bottom 1. Flip to the other side and repeat that. You're going to have that 1 on the end. And now you can see here that this black band has overlapped this red band, and you don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is just get these in the right order here on the pin. And now I want the bottom 2 black bands. We're grabbing them both at once, pulling them over the top, and now on the end we have just the 1 black to come over. And then you want to push all of this down. It's important to always push down so you have room to add your next layer. And so now I am going to switch to orange, and this time the bands are coming straight across. And now I'm going to remove that bottom layer So this time we have just the red, and it's going to be one single band on all of the pins, all 6. And flip to the other side. Again, they look a little bit overlapped. I'm not doing a very good job here because I shouldn't be overlapping them. But sometimes it happens and it's easy enough to fix. And we just want that bottom band coming over the top and into the middle. And then push this down. So now I'm back to black and X's. So starting on the bottom left, going diagonally up to the right, and then doing the one that's parallel. And now from the top pin, I'm crossing this to make the X. And then from this middle pin, crossing again down to the right to make the second X. And now once again I want the bottom layer, so I have one single black on the end. I have the 2 black in the middle, and then the one from the end. Flip to the other side, and you have the one from the end, and 2 from the center, and 1 from the end. And then push that down. So now I'm switching to yellow, and it's going to go straight across. And now you want to remove the bottom layer, which is orange. And then do the same thing on the other side. And then push this down. And as it starts to grow out the bottom, you can pull it down from the bottom. I find that a little easier than having to keep pushing it down from the top. And now it's back to the X's. So hopefully by now you're starting to get the hang of it with the pattern. It's just alternating layers. And I'm crossing it with the other side here, making the X's. And I'm removing the bottom layer. So I have the single and then the 2 in the middle. And now on the other side here, 2 in the middle, and push down. Now I have the single layer of green that's going straight across. And now remove the bottom single yellow. And do the same thing for the other side. So I am just going to keep repeating this same pattern. Just going to alternate between X's and straight lines, and I'm going to do black in between all of the rainbow colors. And when it gets long enough, I will show you how to take it off of the loom. When you have your bracelet to the length that you'd like it and you're ready to take it off the loom, you should have 2 rubber bands on all 6 pins. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the bottom layer. And do the same thing for the other side here. And now what I am going to do is take the bands on the left hand side on this end pin, there's just one single band. I'm going to move that diagonally and up to the right. And then I am going to take the band on the top pin on the left hand side and move that diagonally down and to the right, so that's on the center pin in the middle. And I'm going to do the same thing for this other side here. On the right side, I'm going to take the top rubber band and move it diagonally to the left into that middle pin. And then the one on the bottom, I'm going to move diagonally up and to the left and put it on that center pin. So now each of these center pins should have 4 rubber bands, and I'm going to remove the bottom 2, put them right over the top. And so now there are 2 rubber bands left on each of these 2 pins, so I'm going to get those on my hook. So I have a total of 4 rubber bands on my hook. And so now what I am going to do is, if you want, you can put all 4 rubber bands through the clip, or you can take the bottom 2 that are closest to the end of your hook and just pull them through the other 2, so that way it's not quite as many bands to deal with. And now I'm just going to place them on the one end of my clip, and now I'm going to go to the other end, and I'm just going to take a couple of these bands, and you can see they're a little bit loose, so if you want, you can take your hook through and then pick up some of these other bands and just loop them through one another. Doesn't really matter which ones go through where. It just makes it a little bit tighter on the end. So then take those bands and put them on the other side of this clip. And then here you have your Triple Cross Fishtail bracelet. And here are some other ones that I made in the past. This is one that I did where on the rows that were straight across, I just did one color and then the rest black. And then on the next layer, where it was the straight across bands, I just switched it to the middle, the color, and did black on the other 2. And then on the last one, you can see, just moved that position. So it's a little trickier, this one, but I think it gives it a cool look. And then here's another one where I just did rainbow colors with white in between. So there's tons of different choices that you can pick, different patterns and designs. I hope that everyone found this video easy to follow. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook, post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of my latest tutorials. You can also find me on Pinterest and Instagram, so please feel free to subscribe to those as well. Thanks for watching!